Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm not in the studio and I'm not outside Old Trafford. I'm in my kitchen. We're just doing a little bit of a quick roundup of what happened with the Marcel Sabitzer deal, how that came about, why United went for him, and why it's a done deal, basically, how it was able to get done in the sort of 24 hours of deadline day. Not even that, really, was it? It was probably the 12 hours from Manchester United sort of making those inquiries, contacting Bayern Munich and managing to get the deal over the line. Marcel Sabitzer joining the Reds, of course, late last night, a deal until the end of the season. So we'll get into all that. Also, talk a little bit about some of the outgoings as well, and a bit of an update on Jadon Sancho. So get involved in the comments in the chat. We're not live, but you can get involved in the comments anyway, which I hope you will do. So it was a bit of a funny one, wasn't it, yesterday? Because in the morning, I think I had my news in the morning, and there was no mention of Sabitzer. It was like, there was not even a report or a rumor that United were in for him. It didn't look like it was going to happen. But all of a sudden, there was a sort of, not a rumor, or an explosion almost of like news and a frenzy that actually United are in for Sabitzer and it could happen. Now, initially, it looked like it was United and Chelsea. I think when the news first broke, Romano and people out were tweeting that United and Chelsea were both looking at the midfielder, and you thought, okay, well, the way Chelsea are going turbo in the transfer window, that could go either way. But I don't know how concrete Chelsea's interests were. I don't think they had enough time or energy to try and get a Sabitzer deal done because of the fact they were also getting the Enzo Fernandez deal done. And United were always in pole position for that one. Eventually, of course, completing the move for the Austrian midfielder until the end of the season. So there's a few stories about doing the rounds, about why this happened, why United went for him. It appears that they sort of looked to move once it was clear that they weren't going to have Christian Eriksen or Scott McTominay for a little while. Scott McTominay's out for, I think it's around, I've seen varied reports, but he's out for, I think, maybe a couple of months. Christian Eriksen a bit longer. So you're missing two midfielders there. With Sabitzer, he brings a lot to the table. He's got that experience. He's pretty versatile. He can be a bit of a DM, an attacking midfielder, a number 8. He can play, I think, off the striker. He's even played out wide as well. So you know what you're getting with someone like that. So the club just moved to make it happen. They moved to contact Bayern Munich, get the deal done, and it was done, which is fair enough. I mean, I saw Paul Merson and other people who, you probably don't want to give any credence to what they say, lamenting it, going, it's a panic buy, and why United moving for a player that doesn't even get in the Bayern Munich team. It doesn't always start for Bayern Munich. He's played a few games for Bayern Munich this season, I think 15 in total in the Bundesliga, so it's not like he doesn't feature, but I'm not going to pretend he's as a regular. But this is the thing, when you have an injury or two injuries to midfielders, then you have to act. Now, I'm not going to praise Manchester United over their transfers. I think too far and too often we are reactionary. I think Laurie Whitwell made the point that on a tweet recently, in an article he's written for Athletic, that United in the past can be a little bit reactionary when it comes to transfers. But I understand the fact that if you've got injuries and it's deadline day and you've got the opportunity to sign someone, then you should do that. And I think the difference between maybe now and the past is that it seems that this signing, unlike perhaps maybe Odi Nagalo, if you look at the Igalo signing a few years ago, where you had a player who hadn't played in the Premier League for a little while, and when he hadn't scored in his last, I think, 18 games in the Premier League, and you thought, is he the quality that you need? And I liked Igalo because of his attitude and the way he was, and the fact that he absolutely loved playing for Manchester United. But he probably wasn't at the level that you needed when other players were injured and you had to rely on him. Laurie Whitwell's done a tweet which makes a lot of sense. He says, Marcel Sabitzer feels a very shrewd solution to a sudden problem for United. 2-footed, technical, high-level experience, pressing, quick completion too. Club need to get to stage where such transfers are proactive, not reactive. But finances and sale process dictated this window. So there's reasoning behind it in that. There's reasoning why United have been a little bit more reactive. So I get it. It's I'm not here to sit and praise Manchester United Football Club when it comes to transfers, especially under the Glazers. You'll never get me doing that. But I do understand how and why this deal went about, and it kind of makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? And I think from what we saw last night, me and Scotty, suited and booted, did the live, from what I've seen on social media, people are behind this transfer. A lot of United fans have spoken to think this makes sense. This seems like a good deal. I get it. So He's going to come in, bring that experience, bring that versatility, bring that quality as well. He's a good player. This isn't a player who you think he's a duffer. He's a decent player, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in a Manchester United shirt. And I also hope Christian Eriksen, is back sooner rather than later. I think April is the comment there. I know Scott McTominay's out as well, but Eriksen's a little bit more long term, and I feel for him because after everything he's been through and to get injured in the manner he did, I won't keep going on about it, but I'm fuming with Andy Carroll. So anyway, we'll move on. I mentioned Jadon Sancho earlier. It looks like he's going to be in the squad for tonight. There's been a lot of talk about Jadon Sancho. The MEN have got it and other papers reporting it, that Jadon Sancho is going to be coming back. There's a quote here from Erik ten Hag. He spoke to MUTV. He said, we have some issues. I think tomorrow, this was yesterday, so tomorrow, that Anthony Martial and Jadon Sancho will return in the game squad, but Scott McTominay will still be absent. I also think the next game against Palace, I think he's talking about McTominay. He will be absent. We have to see how that process will go. And for the rest, I think everyone is fit. Sorry, I think I said a couple of months from McTominay. I think I overstated that. I think it might just be a few weeks. Sorry, earlier. But yeah, Jadon Sancho, we've all been sort of keen to see him return. I said to Joe the other day, me and Joe were talking about it. If he's not ready, he's not ready. It doesn't matter who the opposition is. If you're not ready, you're not ready. But it seems like he is. And I expect him to get a fantastic reception at Old Trafford if he does feature tonight against Nottingham Forest in the second round of that Carabao Cup game. Second leg. Sabitzer spoken about his move. He said, sometimes in life you have to make quick and important decisions, Sabitzer told Club Media after completing his move. This is in the MEN. From the moment I heard about this opportunity, I knew it was right for me. I am a competitive player. I want to win and help the club achieve its aims this season. I feel that I am at my peak as a player and that I can contribute a lot of experience and energy to the squad. I am excited to start with my new teammates and manager and to show my qualities to Manchester United fans. Manchester United fans, looking forward to seeing your qualities as well, Marcel. On Axel Tuanzebe, apparently Leeds were offered the chance to sign him, but reportedly did turn that down. Good. We don't want to be helping them. He's joined loan. He's joined Stoke City on loan. I had a late night last night. I did a long shift yesterday. Bear with me. So Tuanzebe has joined Stoke City on loan at the end of the season. Quite a few loanees have gone out, haven't they, in this window? Charlie McNeil, Shola Shoretire, Charlie Savage, Deshaun Bernard. So Tuanzebe's going out on loan as well. I wish him well there. I hope it works out for him. He's had a horrible time with injuries over the last few years. Was a player that at one point I thought was going to be a Manchester United regular. I did. I thought he'll break into the team here and make the centre-back spot his own. It's just not worked out for him, has it? And I don't think it is going to now at Old Trafford. But hopefully it can work out for him career-wise, and Stoke City can be the first step to that road to career recovery, if you can call it that. I'm going to wrap it up there. You're going to have Joe Smith back later on with the watch-along for the Nottingham Forest game. We've also got the preview that's up on the channel, so go and check that out. Me and Joe chatting about how maybe a few youngsters could play tonight because, of course, we do have that 3-0 lead from the first leg against Nottingham Forest. It's the second leg of the semi-final. We know we are going to face Newcastle United in the final, and contrary to some tweets I saw, Bruno Guimaraes won't be suspended because his red card last night, it means a suspension, I think, for all domestic games. So he's got 3 games before the final, so he's going to obviously be suspended for them. But it doesn't matter anyway. I still think we can beat Newcastle once we get past Forest, and I'm confident we will do. Anyway, make sure you are hitting like, share, and subscribe. I've been Motty. This has been the Paper Talk from my kitchen. Thanks for watching.